It's impossible to quickly turn around a loss-making business unit in your business unless this is a common challenge that so many business owners and entrepreneurs struggle with, is they get the financial statements from their accountant or auditors, and it highlights that there's a certain part of their business that is losing money. And if they just closed it down, that whole loss would disappear and the total business would become more profitable. There's a massively flawed assumption within that type of thinking. And I want to give a personal example. I live on a golfing estate, and we are one of the few homeowners associations of a golfing estate that not only owns our own golf course and a golf club, but in fact we own and manage our own restaurant. And for many years, the restaurant hasn't really been making money. In fact, the last year, on about $1 million of sales, it lost $50,000. And there was lots of pressure by various stakeholders to say, we are not a restaurant, we should get out of this business, we should outsource it to somebody else, and our whole business would become more profitable. So they went out on tender and they got quotes from various companies that manage restaurants, and the company said, yes, we would love to do it. Of course, we would need to recover the overhead that we're putting in, and that means that we would have to increase the prices by about 10% to make it more market related. But when we looked at the numbers, what we realized is that rather than reducing the loss for our homeowners association, it would actually increase the loss. And that actually there was a very simple way to turn this restaurant business around into something that's profitable. How? What made it impossible in the past? Two things. Firstly, is that in every single business unit, we are allocating some of the overhead in some fair way to that business unit. But we forget to remember that if we close it down, that overhead will remain. In this case, we allocated $100,000 of management salaries to the restaurant because management was spending some time in that restaurant. But the fact that we now will have an outsource party doesn't mean that their salaries will go down by $100,000. It would still be there. That by itself could take the restaurant, if we remove that allocation from -50 to +50, that's already a profitable restaurant. But there was another thing. Remember I said how the new outsource group would have to increase the prices to recover the capex that they're putting in? We never tried to make money from this restaurant, so we could afford to keep the prices quite low. What would happen if we also increased the prices to market-related prices by 10%? And all the owners, all of them said, we are definitely underpricing our products. Well, a 10% increase in prices on $1 million is $100,000. Our cost won't go up, so that whole $100,000 would drop to the bottom line, taking our profit from +50 to 150. And suddenly we have a restaurant that is generating returns of 15% net profit. That's a really profitable restaurant for those that know the restaurant business and the very tight margins. So this is something to always remember. You can make the impossible possible. You can turn a loss-making business unit into a profitable one by removing those allocated overhead that won't disappear if we close it down, and by looking at small increases in selling price that would drop directly to the bottom line. That's how you make the impossible possible.